A young boy named Max was tidying up his room one day when he came across an old wooden chest tucked away under his bed. As he dusted it off, curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to see what was inside. But he never could have guessed what he found would lead him on a heartwarming adventure that would change his life forever. Max had always been fascinated by the space beneath his bed. It was like a secret hideaway where his toys could play hide and seek while he was busy with school or playing outside. One day, while rearranging his things, he discovered a small opening hidden behind a loose floorboard. With a mixture of fear and excitement, Max decided to investigate further. As he looked into the hole, he saw something strange. It seemed as if there was a ladder leading down into darkness. His heart pounding in his chest, Max felt a sudden surge of bravery and decided to take the plunge. He wriggled his thin frame through the narrow opening and found himself in a place that was both magical and unexpected. The space beneath Max's bed turned out to be a vast and intricate network of tunnels and chambers. As his eyes adjusted to the dim light, he began to notice all sorts of fascinating things. There were shelves lined with books and trinkets, strange contraptions that looked like they were from another time, and even a cozy bedroll tucked into a corner. It was as if he had stumbled upon a secret society or an underground lair. But the most surprising thing of all was the source of light in this subterranean wonderland. At the end of a tunnel, Max spotted a faint glow. As he approached, he realized it was coming from a massive crystal, one that pulsed with a soft, ethereal light that illuminated the entire cavern. It was breathtaking to behold. Suddenly, the crystal emitted a bright flash, and the air crackled with energy. Startled, Max instinctively backed away, but then he noticed something even more astonishing. The crystal had formed a doorway, a swirling portal that shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow. Max stood transfixed, not knowing what lay beyond, but feeling an irresistible pull toward the unknown. With a deep breath, Max stepped through the portal. In an instant, he found himself in a completely different world. Gone was the familiar bedroom with its posters and toys. Instead, he stood in a lush green meadow surrounded by towering trees and sparkling waterfalls. The air was filled with the sound of birdsong and the sweet fragrance of flowers. As Max explored this enchanting realm, he came across all sorts of wonderful things. There were playful animals that seemed happy to see him, mischievous fairies that giggled from atop mushrooms, and talking trees that shared ancient secrets. Max had never felt so much joy and wonder in his life. But as the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Max knew he had to return home. He missed his family and friends, and a part of him wanted to keep this magical place a secret, just for him to know about. So with a heavy heart, he retraced his steps to the portal, promising to himself that he would come back soon. Back in his bedroom, Max looked at the spot where the portal had appeared, but it was gone. Had it all been a dream? He wondered, touching the old wooden chest, now feeling a bit silly for getting so worked up over a silly daydream. But then he noticed something odd. There was a faint glow coming from the floorboards. Kneeling down, Max carefully lifted the loose board. And underneath, to his amazement, he found a tiny crystal, pulsing with the same soft light he had seen in his vision. Holding it in his hand, Max felt a jolt of energy and a sudden clarity washed over him. He knew that what he had experienced wasn't a dream, but a real adventure in a hidden world beneath his own. From that day on, Max made it his mission to explore every nook and cranny of this subterranean realm. He befriended some of the magical creatures who lived there, including a wise old turtle named Shelley, a playful squirrel named Nutsy, and a kind fairy named Willow. Together, they embarked on all sorts of exciting adventures. In the underground world, Max learned that the crystal doorway opened only to those who believed in magic. It was a test of imagination and wonder. And he realized that the reason he had found the hidden world was because he had always kept a sense of childlike curiosity alive in his heart. As Max continued his explorations, he uncovered more and more about the history of this subterranean realm. He learned that it was once a thriving civilization of magical beings until a great disaster had forced them to flee and hide. Now, only a few remained, living in secrecy beneath the human world. Despite the sadness that came with this discovery, Max felt a sense of purpose. He vowed to help the remaining magical creatures find a way to rebuild their world and bring back the balance between the human and magical realms. One day, while exploring an ancient library, Max came across a book that held the key to saving the underground world. It was an old grimoire filled with spells and incantations, and it spoke of a legendary artifact known as the Starfire Amulet. This amulet, according to the book, had the power to restore magic to the underground world and bring it back to its former glory. Determined to find the amulet, Max and his friends set off on a quest that took them through enchanted forests, over sparkling rivers, and into the very heart of a volcano. Along the way, they faced many challenges and dangers, but Max's courage and determination never wavered. Finally, after a long and perilous journey, they reached the heart of the volcano and found the Starfire Amulet. It was a beautiful pendant made of pure starlight that emitted a warm and inviting glow. As soon as Max placed the amulet around his neck, a surge of magical energy coursed through his veins. With the amulet in hand, Max returned to the main cavern in the underground world. Here, in the presence of all the magical creatures he had befriended, he used the amulet's power to restore magic to the land. The effect was immediate and astonishing. Flowers bloomed in vibrant colors, animals regained their magical abilities, and the landscape transformed before their very eyes. From that day forward, the underground world thrived once again, and a new era of peace and prosperity began. Max continued to visit this magical realm whenever he could, always finding new wonders to discover and friends to make. He carried the Starfire Amulet with him, a reminder of his incredible adventures and the importance of believing in magic. And so the tale of Max and the hidden world beneath his bed became a legend, whispered among the magical creatures of the underground realm and the humans who were lucky enough to stumble upon its wand. Ours. For in a world that often seems so ordinary, there is always room for a little bit of magic. If you enjoyed this enchanting adventure, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and share the magic with your friends. We've got plenty more heartwarming stories waiting for you, so subscribe and get ready to embark on more exciting journeys. Thank you for joining us today. Until next time, keep believing in the extraordinary, because magic is all around us if we only open our eyes to see it.